Alright. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Salt Mines, where we watch players melt down while playing StarCraft, because video games are serious business. Down here in the bottom right side, we've got a Zerg player, Bundle of Snakes, aka Railroad. I think we're going to go with Railroad. This is Railroad here, the Zerg player with a very creative nickname. Walter in the top left side of the map, the red Protoss player. Now, I think what I find most exciting about the Salt Mines usually is guessing who's going to rage. Unfortunately, I feel like I've been robbed. I feel like as I swap my mouse here and drag our screen to the corner of the screen, it's almost always the player on the barcode. It's almost always Railroad over here who's gonna end up, if things don't go their way, call them names. And the reason why I can guess that is they're playing a video game at, this is like Masters 3 level, I believe, like 4400 MMR. Pretty damn solid players. But can you believe it? The player who hides their identity while playing video games because they're too afraid for their opponents to know who they are is already calling imbalanced trash. Wow. We're truly watching the peak of StarCraft players. By the way, this drone just hung out on the side of the map. He's going for a hatch block. He's coming in so late. So we're going for 6 Zerglings off a pool first. So it's an early pool. It's not the earliest, but it's like a 14 pool. This is like a poorly timed pool into, I'm going to build a hatchery inside your main base. Probe sees it. Probe sees it. Probe sees it. Oh, golly. Oh, golly. Oh, no, Walter, what are you doing building a pylon here, mate? Mate, you need to get your defense up right now. Hatchery inside the main, 6 Zerglings coming across the map. Walter sees it. Walter needs to build a Cybercore right now. Cybercore and Zealot. What are we building probes for? What are you doing? No, don't build probes. What are you doing? You need to defend. You don't... The hatchery doesn't matter. That doesn't do anything. Okay, Cybercore's going down. Walter's panicking. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Guys, Railroad has opened up with the insult your opponent strategy, and Walter appears to be panicked a little bit here. I mean, you are going to shut it down, but this hatchery is not an urgent threat. Does kill it, but losing massive amounts of mining. Zealot comes out. Zealot can beat 4 Zerglings with the help of some probes. The Zerglings misclicked into the corner! Oh my gosh, Railroad misclicks the Zerglings into the corner there. And going to try and run away, but doesn't. I mean, could have killed that Zealot. That Zealot didn't appear to be getting actively microed. New hatchery starts to build. Where are the rest of the Zerglings, guys? They do not exist. There's no Zerglings. There's no Zerglings coming. It's just, it's a macro build. Railroad is going to drone up behind this, build a hatchery at home, cancel the hatchery, cancel the hatchery. Oh my gosh, cancels at the last second. Does get the refund. You do not want to lose that money. Needs to build overlords right now so that they can actually get ahead behind this. Hasn't started the hatchery at home. The macro behind this is a macro build, but they forgot to macro, guys. Railroad right now finally clicks these units home, realizes they are walled in. The Zealots are going to catch the drone. The Zerg's still running around. Only one hatchery up, one overlord finally building. But dude, this is too easy of a hold for Walter, who starts a Nexus, is up 5 workers, will clean these Zerglings up eventually. 2 more things arrive at the front. And this was a truly monumentally sloppy opening from Railroad, who's got an inject going, has a natural coming. But what else is going on? I mean, you're running Zerglings around in circles. They ain't achieving nothing right now. And these Zealots just going to chase them down to their doom. 10 more Zerglings? Guys, you've scouted your opponent is full walled off. You have done a build that forces your opponent to delay their natural and full wall themselves off, meaning they cannot be properly aggressive, meaning they cannot do much. The follow-up to this is obviously take a 3rd hatchery and drone, but Railroad, a high IQ player who's too busy thinking about the, and I quote, imbalanced trash that they are playing against, is going to instead say, I'm going to build those 10 Zerglings so I can attack your complete wall off. This is high IQ StarCraft. Yeah, and when I say high IQ, I'm being a little silly. That's what we call lying, guys. So lying, it's when what you do is you know what the truth is, but you purposely say the opposite of the truth. Because it's silly. This is the height of comedy. What can I say, guys? The Salt Mines where you watch, remember, most of these players we watch, they are 12-year-olds. Just kidding. These are like mostly 30 to 40-year-olds, sometimes 50-year-olds. Who never learnt emotional control. That's what I like about it, is I think a lot of people, when they watch the show, they think these kids these days are so rude. They really don't realize just how many of the people in the Salt Mines are dudes out there who run businesses. People who have, like, you know, they're like, all right, I've been raising the kids, hanging out with the wife, just done doing this. And then they go on ladder to call people racist names. No, I don't think they have kids or wives that often, but they definitely are often adults. Now, the Zerglings actually managed to scare the opponent, which is kind of good. Walter's going to have to wall off. There are more drones and a 3rd hatchery coming up behind it, which is really good, guys. 3 base follow-up. Small problem, the hatchery's in the main base. So Railroad has decided, I'm going to do a 3 hatchery follow-up, But because I'm too stupid to build the hatchery over here where it should go so I can drone up, I'm just going to be building hydras on 2 base without any gas. Holy crap. This is so low level. I mean, I can't believe this is 4,400 MMR. I mean, I can actually. You know what, guys? I think this is a good reminder. Railroad has made it to Masters by just attacking. And this is actually a good rule for StarCraft, is if you attack a lot, you get an artificial boost to your MMR, because people panic and make mistakes when they're getting attacked. Easier to attack than it is to defend, generally speaking, in StarCraft. Now, Void Ray is going to clean up that Overseer. Pretty late Void Ray into Oracle here. So Walter's been on the back foot for a long time, and it's actually really hard for Walter to get a third, and once again has re-walled their base for the 2nd time. So if you were droning up 3 bases, not 2, you could be miles ahead. Unfortunately, we've got 6 workers on one gas, 3 on another, only 13 workers on minerals on both bases, and we're going into the most awkwardly delayed 2-base Hydra build I have ever seen. We're only building 1 Overlord at a time. I mean, there's 7 lava just sitting there, not being spent, and it's going to be a 2-base Hydra push. But there's no pressure on the Protoss to move out. Robo comes down, Twilight. All Protoss needs to do is chill, and they should be in a good spot. Oracle hanging out there. Hydra's going to pop. Got to be careful. Got to be careful, but the Hydra's not responding. Now, part of the reason there, I think, is pretty obvious, because Hydra's, you can't control group a Hydra when it's inside the egg unless you know how to use control groups. And I'm pretty sure that Railroad does not know how to use control groups. Something I've noticed about a lot of players out there, oh my god, is the Oracle gets caught! A lot of players out there, especially like Zergs, if you see them being really aggressive and sloppy like this, you're gonna very quickly notice their whole army always moves this way, then it moves that way. Then it moves this way, then it moves, and you realize like, oh, they're an F2 player. And that's because the later it goes, if you don't know how to split your army up, the worse you're gonna struggle with Zerg. Zerg's all about mobility and backstabs and counterattacks and cheeky little maneuvers. That's what Zerg's usually about with its mobility focus. But this player is more about the F2A move, you know. The Zerg players like to complain that Protoss players just F2A move, but in this case, it is the Zerg who is absolutely the F2A mover. Oracle's going to come in with the Void Ray Immortal Stalker Adept to try and defend. As Hydra's out exposed on the other side of the map. And the follow-up to this for Walter is to make a Lurker Den and 20 more Zerglings. Holy crap. 2 base at 7.5 minutes. This is wild. This is wild. There was no reinforce. Still supply capped at 74 supplies, guys. Oh my gosh. What a madness. Absolute madness in this game. Templar Archives going down. Walter is just like slowly getting punched in the face repeatedly and just not dying. Has half the APM of the Zerg player, but it seems to be using it for mostly the right things. The problem is right now, they don't have a great army against the Hydras. Charge isn't ready. The Immortal does pull back to the choke point really well. Oh god, Walter's in trouble. Oh, Walter, where's the gateway count? Walter's only got 5 gateways. The Void Ray's gonna go down. The Immortal goes down. The Void Ray. Oh no, there's only 1 Immortal left. A few Zealots trying to warp in. Dude, Walter's in big trouble right now. Walter not able to secure the 3rd base. Just was too slow to get up into the Charge Zealot and the 8 gateways. Still only on 5 gateways. Desperately needing more gateways is Walter. Walter's chronoing gateways right now. That does speed up the cooldown on those warp-ins, but needs more pylons and needs more gateways right now. Walter panicking under the pressure of an opponent who called them names at the start of this. Because remember, guys, if your opponent calls you names, they say, your team's unfair, you're playing with the better pieces. It really puts your ego on the line early, and that's what Railroad did. That was a tactical insult your opponent, say their race is unfair, because then your opponent's like, oh, this guy thinks I'm unfair. Oh, I can't lose this. Oh, look at this. He's trying to bait into hold fire Lurkers, guys. Could you make it any more obvious? Railroad has told the Lurkers not to shoot until he gives the command. He's like, hold. But unfortunately, he's basically waving a red flag going, hey, stupid Protoss player, over here. Come on. You want to play with me? Come over here. Come over here. And Walter's not taking the bait, and he's so pissed off. Railroad's like, fine, I'll rotate down to the south. Okay. Unfortunately for him, there's a probe spotter there. Army's moving to intercept. Will it get there in time? There's no detection. There's no answer to these Lurkers. Oh god, they are only lair tech Lurkers. They're still on hold fire. They didn't shoot straight away when they burrowed because they still had the hold fire command. So he burrows them. He's like, yeah. And they're all just like standing there like, boss, you didn't give us the order. He's like, shoot, fucking shoot, guys. The Nexus will go down there. The pylon will survive for now. Observers are being built. Oracle's actually the primo unit for revelating Lurkers and revealing them. It's the best. Now, third base got taken. I don't think Railroad wanted to take this third base. Still hasn't transferred out of the main, despite it being oversaturated now. And he's going to swap into Roaches against the guy that's building Immortals. So if you guys are ever wondering, maybe you don't understand StarCraft that well, maybe there's other players who are smarter and better than you, just remember, Railroad made it to Masters League, spots a heavy Immortal army, and decides to transition off Hydraling Lurker into Roaches. This is a little bit like, basically, you know, I don't know, for some reason, you're in a zombie apocalypse, the world stabilized a bit, zombies aren't your biggest concern, it's just you have your compound, and then your neighbor Gary, he's a bit of a dickhead, he has his compound. And you manage to get information on all of his weapons, and you realize his only ammo left in the zombie apocalypse, it's all birdshot. And you think to yourself, how can I counter this? And your solution is basically to train an army of pigeons, because you realize the only thing he has is birdshot left as ammo for his friggin' shotgun, so maybe we can overwhelm him with mass pigeon. It's that level of decision making. It makes no fucking sense. It's so stupid. Watching Railroad play this game is a little, it's turning me into Artosis. I apologize, guys. It's hard to fathom the stupidity. The Immortal Archon is going to absolutely crush these Lurkers. The Immortals wrecking the Roaches instantly. It's almost like Roaches aren't good versus Immortals. Who knew? And there we go. Zealot Immortal comes in, and it turns out, Gary, somehow the birdshot takes down the army of killer pigeons that you've trained to swarm at him. Almost as if birdshot was made for that. Really, truly impressive play for Railroad. Absolutely. Like, the great thing is, you've had no pressure on you all game. You haven't had to defend a single thing. You've been attacking the whole time. These are the players, like, they literally don't know how to use control groups. They don't know how to defend. They don't know how to split their army up. They're in Masters League, and they'll complain about balance all day and talk about that's what's holding them back. It is an absolute miracle you've made it to Masters League with this absolutely garbage level play. This is the first split we've seen in the game, and it's only possible because, no, they immediately F2'd a bit. Okay, now they fixed it. They sent these guys back. So now they're doing a two-pronged Zergling run by. They could actually get a Nexus kill. Okay, this is actually pretty good. Okay, it's working out. It is working out. Imagine if they were able to do multi-prong earlier in this game. To be fair, against the two-base player wouldn't have really been the play. Actually getting a fair bit of damage. These Zerglings aren't doing too well, but some infrastructure getting cleared down south. Roaches running through the middle. Roaches, what the hell? Dude, running Roaches down the middle after you lure their army into the middle. Oh, truly, truly forehead. Just friggin' absolutely massive play right there. I'm gonna lure you into the middle and then attack you in the middle. Genius. Railroad is actually a genius, man. It's impressive when someone manages to do like a slow-mo Matrix dodge, but they dodge into the bullet. They're like, it's gonna miss. Whoa, bullet time. They just like move their head in front of it. And you're like, oh, okay. I didn't think that was how you'd use that ability personally. I gotta say, a little bit shocking. All right, we're full massing Roaches into Mass Immortal right now. No, to be fair, to give some credence to Railroad strategy, Mio Micah, famous #1 Vietnamese Zerg player, once beat me. I was making triple Robo Immortal and he beat me with pure Roach. But that is the #1 player in Vietnam, a man that bends reality to his flavor. There was so many times he'd like distract me with Lings and then he'd run in, snipe an Immortal and run back, and he just kept doing it for like 5 minutes. And I was never ready for it. And I was like, oh my God, stop. I lost like 23 Immortals in this game to pure Roach. It was amazing. He started burrowing into my bases and stuff, and I was like, okay, Mira, how dare you beat me with the unit I hard counter. That would be an example of severely outplaying your opponent, though, something which Railroad has not been able to do in this game. Railroad here sets up the Lurker trap for the single Zealot Archon and gets the first combat victory in a while. A bit of an F2 for Walter as well, to be fair, but that's okay. Walter's got 4 bases up, got some cannons. Does need to transfer workers off that natural expand. Main base has finally transferred for Railroad, and Railroad's even taken a 4th. Railroad is part of the school of Zergs where they only expand when they have nowhere to send their drones. They never do it ahead of time. They only do it like, we have nowhere to mine from. Nah. Ooh, Archon gets caught. Lurkers do the old Lurker hug. And they're going to jump on top of this base. Pulling back to defend could be a big mistake here unless we flank it. Oh, not the best attack angle for Walter. Does it matter? Not at all. Walter has such a better army. Walter could attack this with like 1/3 of their army and they'd still absolutely cleanse it. So easy, F3. Oh, he's so easy, he F3'd it. He's like, F2, I mean, F2. Walter says GG. Railroad says scum. Walter says, don't be mad, bro. Idi Naixi, die. 10 IQ, race user, F2 scum. Dude, I love that he just went into like ancient Egyptian or something there. It was like, Idi Naixi. That sounded like he was speaking Hittite or something like that. You know, this was like ancient Phoenician or some shit. This was some, that's a crazy fucking set of insults there. Oh, it's actually a language? I thought it was just typos. People saying it's Russian maybe, or German, someone says. I thought it was literally, it means go F yourself in Russian. Okay. Walter's like, hey, I beat you, didn't I? Never say GG, says Railroad. Walter's like, GG, amazing units. Thanks, says Walter. Battery overcharge, amazing. Walter's like, yeah, I agree. Watch out, buddy. I mean, I really feel like the battery overcharge was amazing, guys. Does anyone did anyone see a battery overcharge get cast in this entire game, guys? Was there, maybe there was one in the fight? I did not see the battery overcharge get used. Walter's like, I caught your roaches, die in real life, scum. 10 IQ, 10 APM, but win. This is from the player who clearly doesn't use control groups and basically just F2A moved and never took advantage of any of the very clear, obvious strategic advantages that they built for themselves, right? Like we talked about it multiple times, like, all right, you made him wall himself off and have a delayed expansion. This is where you drone up. And Railroad was like, no, I'm not going to take advantage of that. Why would I expand and drone? I don't know how to do those things. I won because you suck, says Walter. Railroad's like, only cheese, only. Dude, you were cheesing him the whole game. He just defended. Look at that stutter stepping, says Walter. Die, scum, says Railroad. Oh my god, my APM is out of the roof. I think what Railroad doesn't realize is the more you spam the same thing, the more meaningless it becomes, guys. This is one of those things you've got to be really careful with, you know? Like, a lot of people out there, they'll be like, no, you die, scum, blah, 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 blah. It's like the first time you say it, like, especially if it's in a context where it's really unacceptable, it really has an impact. People go, whoa, that's crazy. And then the 36th time in a row you say the same thing, people just kind of go, you're an idiot, and this is meaningless. Drones are now coming out as well, trying to waste time. You know think. Okay, that's actually my favorite, guys. You know think is probably like my favorite insult out of this game in terms of just raw creativity. Because if you think about it, Protossers don't think, right? I mean, it's so easy to win with Protoss. They don't think. You know think. You just click F2A move. Wait. By the way, it's just dawning on me. This guy was calling the other guy the F2 player? There's no way this guy uses control groups. His army just ran around like a ridiculous. The only time he did a two-pronged ling pressure, it's because his main army didn't have to do anything else at the same time, because he's literally incapable of controlling in any other way. Walter says, the good old, says, what is that? No hard feelings, I still like you. The good old, I'm so mad I spread my drones everywhere. A classic. Die, scum, AFK. Have a nice evening, good sir. Die IRL, sir. Scum. You've said scum and die IRL like 400 times, dude. Like 400 times. You are so sweatily trying to hide buildings right now to waste your opponent's time. You are such a loser. It is actually impressive. Guys, this is the Zerg equivalent of floating command centers, floating buildings. And just remember, it's sad when a Terran floats their buildings. It's like a rage response. They don't want to accept what happens. When a Zerg does it, they actually need to run the drones out and build these things in multiple areas. This takes more effort. This is an even more loser version of floating your buildings. Need change race. I thought you were away from keyboard, mate. Walter calls him out. He's like, I thought the idea with this is you're wasting my time and walking away from your computer to get a snack. Did you forget the point of hiding buildings? You're still here talking. I can still taste your salty tears. For complaint, reach out to the streamer of your choice. Nice. Wait, what? This is from Walter? For complaint, reach out to the streamer of your choice. Don't send him to my chat, Walter. No. No. Don't tell him to go to my friggin'... No. Don't come to my stream chat. No. Battle.net forums. For complaint, reach out to the Battle.net forums. Not streamer of your choice. Walter, fuck you, dude. Nice pause. Someone at the door. I'll resume it. Okay, so it looks like he tried to pause as well. Walter unpaused the game and was like, what are you doing? Railroad being a super cool guy. It's about to lose this hatchery, which is, of course, the lose condition, losing your last buildings. And it looks like Railroad, super cool guy. You know, he went back and started using Phoenician slurs against the opponent, which was kind of cool. I always appreciate it when someone uses ancient Phoenician slurs. I don't care if you guys say it Russian. It was Russian, it just means F you. In my head, it was an ancient Phoenician slur. You guys shut up. I enjoyed that game very much. Well done. Walter basically withstands 17 Zerg headbutts. And I think what was most impressive, guys, is we had 2 clear points where the sloppy play could have been turned into an obvious advantage, right? Number 1 was when you force the full wall off and you should drone up. And the answer was, I'm going to build a whole big wave of Zerglings because I'm an idiot who doesn't know how to build an advantage. And then the next one was, okay, you denied their third, just drone up and get ahead. And instead we transitioned into roaches against Heavy Immortal. Like, there was 2 negative IQ strategic inflection moments in this game. And it just reminds us that if you are raging at the video game, you will always find a way somehow. And even for me, if I start raging, you will always find a way to not just make a suboptimal play, you will find the worst play. I don't know if you guys let me know if you've experienced this, but whenever I'm mouthing, whenever I'm super mad at the game and I'm just being irrational, I somehow find ways to throw games in. Like, it's actually impressive how bad you play when you're raging and tilted and you think everything's unfair. It's one of those, like, just true. There's things that always holds true. If you are a whiny bitch and you think the world's unfair to you, the world will find a way to be unfair to you. And I think Railroad found that out the hard way. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed that episode of the Salt Mines. If you do find yourself enjoying the Salt Mines, you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, we really appreciate you checking out the Patreon. There's some cool perks that are unique to the Patreon, merch, that sort of cool stuff. Links below in the description. And a big thanks to everyone who's already on the Patreon. Special thanks to Richard down there, DL7RRK, who's been supporting for such a long time, and yet I somehow have an inability to edit this image correctly when new people come in, and I keep accidentally removing your name. So thank you very much for the patience and continuing to support, even when your name keeps on inextricably getting removed from this graphic. We finally fixed it. Thank you so much, mate. Special thanks, of course, to Wushang? Wushang. I'm totally butchering that name. Thank you so much for getting on the D-Town Express. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.